Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Gnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya tattvabodha-an. Hari Om Tat Sat. Tattva Bodha, the fundamentals of the life. Today we are going to complete this small rudimentary text, and before going to say the concluding words of the Tattva Bodha, in the last class we have completed all the topics which are dealt in this Tattva Bodha. The last topic, Aikya Gnana Phalam, Jiva Ishwar Aikya Gnana Phalam, Jivan Mukti also we are discussing. Now today, being the concluding session, I would like to give the complete brief saramsha of this Tattva Bodha, and at the end how the Acharya concludes this particular text, that we will see. This Tattva Bodha is a rudimentary text which deals with so many Vedantic technical terms and gives the meaning of them. Before studying any other Vedanta textbooks, the student must go through this Tattva Bodha. So, in the prayer and the next prose order, the description, it goes with these headings. First, it is said about the 4 sadhana chatushtaya sampattis, and then 4 anubandha anubandha chatushtayam. Now, what are the 4 qualifications required for a student of the Vedanta, or the student of the spiritual path, the seeker who wants to seek the truth? What are the 4 qualifications required? That 4 qualifications are: one is Viveka, and then the Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutvam. The discrimination between the real and unreal we must know. And the unreal thing is Anatma, or unreal thing is this Namarupa Prapancha Jagat. Otherwise it is called relative reality. And the other side is Atma, or the Satyam, the absolute reality, or Paramardhika Satyam. So one is Vyavaharika Satyam, another is Paramardhika Satyam. If the Satyam word is used for the both, then we may get doubt, oh, this is also Satyam and this is also Satyam. Vyavaharika Satyam means it is only relative reality. It is not real, but it looks as though it is real. So, having this discrimination between these two, Atma and Anatma, is called the Viveka. Not the normal way, discrimination between so many things in the world. We are able to discriminate and buy the good clothes, and we are able to discriminate which is the very pure gold or nakli gold. Before buying anything in this world, we will have lot of discrimination. That is not said here. Here this discrimination is about the real and unreal, Atma and Anatma. This is very essential. And the second thing is, in order to do this Atma Anatma Vivekam and inquire into the truth, one must have the dispassion, Vairagya. The dispassion, Vairagya about this material world, the material benefits, the material desires. One, unless otherwise our mind is not able to withdraw from these worldly things and the beings, the possessions and relations, it cannot focus on the reality. So that's why we must have the Vairagya, dispassion. And the dispassion should be with a proper discrimination, not because of the depression. So there is a difference, no, between these two. So discrimination and then Vairagya, dispassion. Then all other 6 qualifications also should follow along with it. And then only the student inner climate of the mind, which mind can contemplate and understand and grasp the truth, and that mind should have some qualifications, not only the dispassion, but how to develop the dispassion, and along with the dispassion, what are the other qualities we require. So those qualities are said: have the mind control, Shama, have the Dhamma, okay, the control of the senses and the mind. Then only do your given, your duty, Uparati, withdraw from the unwanted, unrelated, unrequired, non-required things, Uparati. And while going through this life and in this sadhana time, whatever ups and downs, the pairs of dualities come and hit you, you must be able to tolerate, and so have the titiksha, tolerance, and then have the shraddha, faith on the words of the Shastra, faith on the words of the Guru, and the Shastra is given by the Ishvara. So have the faith on the Ishvara also, have the faith on the Guru and also on the Shastra. But generally we will have lot of faith on the world, which is impermanent, and the Shastra and the Guru who are talking about the permanent thing, but we don't believe or have the more commitment and involvement. So Shraddha is required. And with this, you must have a peaceful and calm mind also, Samadhana. Okay, a relaxed, calm, a qualitative mind and quantitative time required for the study of Shastra. So such a time when I want to focus my attention, my mind should be available, Samadhanam. And after telling all these 6-fold qualifications, the finally said, altogether you must remember, don't forget, your goal is mumukshutvam, the desire to get the moksha, liberation, freedom from this samsara, the cycle of birth and death. If this is not the goal, then you will miss the track. So 4 things, if you want to say in English to remember with a capital D, I said this. One is discrimination, then second is dispassion, then discipline and the desire. So these are the 4 qualifications. And with these qualifications, now this present text of Tattva Bodha also must have any Vedantic text, any scripture which I am studying, it should be useful and applicable for my day-to-day life also. It should talk about my life and my happiness and my goal. So, Anubandha Chatushtayam also indirectly spoken here. Anubandha Chatushtayam means who is the Adhikari, okay, the fit instrument. Now that only we discussed. So, Adhikari is such a person, Mumukshu is the Adhikari. And what is the Vishaya in this, what is the subject matter? Atma Gnanam, self-knowledge. And what is the Sambandham? The Tattva Bodha is the subjective study, because I am studying about myself, not about the computer, not about the chemistry, or not about something else. I am studying about myself. That is the Sambandha. So the text talks about what? Not something away. It is talking about me, subject. And what is the prayojanam if this subject of study of subjective study of myself is the moksham or jivan mukti? You will be liberated. Your ajnana about yourself will be removed. Then, so after telling 4 qualifications and 4 the relationships, Anubandha Chatushtayam. Now, this text is altogether we can divide it into 5 headings. Okay, I am just giving the Saramsha of the Tattva Bodha summary. One is about the Yogyata. Now that we already discussed just now, Yogyata, eligibility. Then the second topic is the Jiva Vichara. Who is the subjective me, Atma? Right now, I am considering myself as the Jiva. Individuality. What is the status of this Jiva? Whether this Jiva is a real or a fictitious, what it is. And then the Srishti Vichara. In front of me, there is a Jagat world. I interact and I function in this world, and I will try to achieve my Purusharthas in this world. Artha, Dharma, Artha, Kama. Of course, the Moksha. So, in order to achieve this first 3, Artha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, only through this material visible world only, no? So, what is this world? What is the relationship between me and this world? And whether the world is an asset for me, or the Jagat world is threatening or becoming a liability for me. And then, so I am the individual small Jiva in this visible big world. Naturally, in the big world, I am a small dust particle like individual, Veshti. Now, this Veshti me and the Samashti Jagat, who created this? How these two things came into existence? So, for that sake, then after telling the Srishti Vichara means, you remember, Jiva is also made up of the 5 Panchamahabhutas, and Jiva is nothing but the reflected consciousness. So, when you recollect the Srishti Vichara, the 5 Panchamahabhutas, they came from the Maya. Brahma Ashrita Maya Trigunaatmika Maya Asti. We studied that. The Maya, which is nothing but the potential inherent power of the Brahman, the Paramatman. And when that Maya is invoked by the Paramatma Brahman, then his name is called as the Ishvara. That topic is the fourth topic. Okay. So third topic is Srishti Vichara. Now, this Ishvara Maya Sahita Brahma, he just acts, uses the Maya, keeping under his control as the Mayavi, and the Srishti started. This Maya is already consisting of the Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, and with the three gunas, then Srishti, creation, started from the space onwards. Then the Pancha Mahabhutas, then after that, the combination of the gunas of the each Pancha Mahabhuta again created the different things, the subtle things and the gross things and the grossest things. Okay. So if you remember to recollect, we have totally saw that three worlds, Karana Prapancha, Sukshma Prapancha and Sthula Prapancha. Prapancha means total, samasti. And after the Karana, Sukshma and Sthula Prapancha, and then Karana Shariram, Sthula Sukshma Shariram and Sthula Shariram. That means samashti and veshti, total and individual. Now, to come to this order of the Karana, Sukshma and Sthula, the role of the gunas is there. So, for example, from Akashat, Sattvikamshat, Akasha, the Sattva guna of the Akasha, what came? The Rajoguna of the Akasha, what came? The Tamoguna of the Akasha, what came? Like this, we saw that sense organs and the organs of actions, all they came one after another. And finally, after creating the Pancha Pranas, Pancha Gnanendriyas, Pancha Karmendriyas, then the grossest, this world or the body came from the, after the combination of the Tamoguna aspect, that you have to remember, Tamoguna aspect, and that too not directly from one Tamoguna aspect of the space or air or fire, but all they mixed together, and there only the Panchikaranam or the grossification has happened. So after the grossification, Panchikaranam only, this Sthula Shariram or the Sthula Prapancha came into existence. So like this, the Sushti Vichara said, and then the Jiva Vichara. This Jiva, this individual body also made up of the same Pancha Bhutas, Pancha Pranas and the Gnanendriyas, and the same thing is in the total aspect also. So after telling this, then this Srishti and Jiva and Samashti. Now this is Jagat, we can consider and take it as the Ishvara itself. Here when we say in individuality Jiva, and the Samashti Ishvara. So Ishvara is the Mayopadhi, Maya keeping under his control, and he plays Ishvara. But when it comes to the Jiva, Jiva is nothing but the a small reflection of the Ishvara only. And Ishvara also is a big reflection of the Paramatma. Chaitanya, the original consciousness OC only, now understand in this way, reflecting in two mediums. One medium is big medium, one medium is small medium. One is the superior medium, another is the inferior medium. But both are the mediums and both are the reflections only, and both are distracted reflections only. How? What is that total big, medium and big thing? Nothing but the reflection of the Ishvara. Ishvara itself is a reflection of the Paramatma, and that we will call here original consciousness. Not original. Original consciousness is the Parabrahman, and now from the original consciousness is this. Now one side three prapanchams and other side three sharirams. Okay. Now three sharirams and three prapanchams all together, if you want to say what are the things mainly to remember and synthesize and to say, OC is one, original consciousness is one, and reflected mediums are two. Now naturally in the total reflected medium there will be a reflected medium, reflected consciousness, yes, and the original is there. So like that, if you take in individual also reflected medium and reflected consciousness. Now again if you see the reflected medium and reflected consciousness, three sharirams, so reflected medium 1, reflected medium 2, reflected medium 3, and reflected consciousness 1, reflected consciousness 2, reflected consciousness 3. Why? Because three sharirams are there, three words are there, but altogether to say OC is one and reflections are mainly two. Ishvara is one reflection and Jiva is one reflection. Now after telling about this also, so Ishvara means don't just imagine a person sitting with a form and name something. Now what you have to understand, if you study this Srishti Vichara and Jiva Vichara, Ishvara is nothing but the world itself, this Namarupa Prapancha which is experienced by me, visible, tangible to all the five sense organs, is itself is the Ishvara. That's why we will call it as a Saguna Brahma with gunas and attributes. Saguna, Sakara, with names and forms and with gunas. Saguna Brahma or Saguna Ishvara also we say. So world it is nothing but the Ishvara himself. Okay, that power of that Ishvara totally when wants to manifest and come in the same form of like us and descend into this world, we'll call it as avatara. Then that avatara will have some purpose to protect the dharma and destroy the adharma and appear for some time and then disappear. But we should not consider and take that, oh, that is the only Ishvara. Ishvara has got many forms. Every form is Ishvara only. Okay. So three things are discussed. Generally in any Vedanta text also, these are the main three topics are the triangular game, and we said. So Jiva, the me individual, the world, Jagat in front of me, and then whenever I am feeling difficulty and facing the world, the problems comes in the world, I am not able to withstand and tolerate and face, so I need some support to hold and to say to somebody. That somebody is the Ishvara, God. Okay? Because I am a small, I am Alpam, but Ishvara is Anantam. So that Ananta Ishvara, Sarvashaktiman, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Now, when this topic particularly discussing, after that, okay, you pray to the Ishvara in the beginning, all that. But slowly, come to realize and recognize that you are nothing but the Ishvara. There is no difference between you and the Ishvara. Jiva Ishvara Aikyam is the fourth topic. Only for the time being, because of the medium, you are covered by the ignorance, avidya, upadhi. You are functioning with the avidya, upadhi. But avidya is dominating you, you have no control. But Ishvara also is working with the Maya Upadhi, but the difference is Ishvara has got the control on the Maya. Now, when you recognize your relationship between the Ishvara, Jiva Ishvara Bhedam, when is removed, okay, you will be liberated, you will be free from this samsara. Now, there the teacher emphasized, as long as a person have the difference, maintain the difference between the Ishvara and Jiva, he cannot escape from this loop of the samsara, the cycle of birth and death, punarapi jananam puranapi maranam, he cannot escape. So, never do or have the feeling of the difference between you and the Ishvara. And to remove, when Guru said this, then immediately doubt came in the mind of the student. Then student raised a question there, my dear sir, how the Ishvara and Jiva can become one? There is a vast difference, a gulf of difference. Because Ishvara is a Sarvagnaha, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvavyapi. But I am a Alpagnaha, Alpavyapi, Alpashaktiman. How it is possible the oneness? Then there the Guru, and that time the student quoted also, your Upanishads and Shastra tells that Tattvamasi Mahavakya of the Chandogya Upanishad, you are that. That is the meaning. Oh, my dear Jiva, you are nothing but that Ishvara itself. And he questions that how it is possible. Then Guru answered for it. Please understand, my dear, when we say Jiva Ishvara are one, Aikyam, you have to take the real Lakshyardha. That means you have to drop the Vachyardha, the word meaning. Word meaning means Jiva means you are having a small Upadhi, Ishvara having a big Upadhi. And when we say oneness, you drop the Upadhis of the Jiva and drop the Upadhis of the Ishvara. Tatpada also you drop the Upadhis, and Tvam Pada in about you also drop the Upadhis, means the conditionings, the mediums. Then essentially what you and the Ishvara, the consciousness wise, both are one and the same. Now, I told some examples, I think, that time. Now, just again to recollect, to convince this point to us. There is a water in this pot, and water is there in the big tub. Water is there in the big lake. Water is there in the river and the ocean. And water is there in the clouds also. Now, what is the common word here? Water is, water is, water is. But conditionings, if you see, pot is a small one. This pot water is conditioned by the walls of this clay pot. Like that, tub also, lake also, and the river also have got bed. conditioned, and ocean also a conditioned water. But if you take commonly in all these situations, you remove the upadhi, what is there commonly? Water is there. It's just as simple as that. The common denomination is the consciousness. Of course, now we are still in last but one step. Then finally, when you come to recognize Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, then actually these two, Jiva and Ishvara, are nothing but the reflected consciousness. So first we must merge these two reflected consciousness and delete them, negate them, and then actually without the original consciousness, how this reflection conscious can appear? Not possible. So what is that? I am only, you are only. So this tattvam in the first stage, Jiva Ishvara Aikyam. But later stage, there is no tat and there is no tvam and there is nothing except ekameva dvitiyam. So in this way, the teacher explained about the tatpada and tvampada, vachyartha and lakshartha, indicative meaning and word meaning, applicable meaning. Okay, or so in this way, after clarifying this Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, how is it possible? Now, the total, again after that he come to know Aham Brahmasmi Gnanam. There is nothing, there is no world, there is no Jiva, there is no Ishvara, only Brahman exists. Who recognized this? Okay, this particular Gnanam, whoever get this particular Gnanam is called a realization. What is the phalam? That is the last topic, fifth one. Or that phalam is mentioned in a different way. He is called Jivan Muktaha. And there only we elaboratedly discussed about the characteristics of the Jivan Mukta, how he, what he thinks about himself. He is asangaha, satchidanandaha, swarupaha, prakasha rupaha, sarvantaryami, chidakasha rupaha, asmi iti. Okay, we have discussed in two classes. Dhrudha nishchaya rupa, aparoksha gnanavan, jivan muktaha. So, the mukti who got while living itself, liberation while living itself is called Jivan Mukta. Then the further topic in this way, after that the Guru said immediately, now Jiva, Ishvara both are got cancelled with this knowledge. Then Brahma eva aham asmi iti aparoksha gnanena. Now Guru came to one step higher. Higher means what? It is automatically understood that when the two reflections are removed, okay, the small medium reflection and big medium reflection, both are the mediums and both are the reflections. What remains? The remaining thing is aham remains. That aham is not a ahankari, egoistic aham, but aham is aham. Brahmaivaham asmi iti. Aham asmi. Aham asmi. Brahmaivaham asmi. Yoham asmi Brahmaham asmi. Aham asmi Brahmaham asmi. Ahamevaham mam. Aham asmi. Brahmaham asmi. Then we told a little explanation about Brahma means bigger than the biggest. Okay, and all pervading, anantam, anirvachaniyam, asangam, all that. And this gnanam, remember this gnanam, this is not the thing to attain after some time going somewhere, sometime. This gnanam is now and here. Then that person gets relieved from this, all the shackles of the karma bandha vinirmuktaha bhavati. There only then again question raised. Then if you have got doubt what are the karmas, then there are three types of karmas. And prarabdha karma is which is already going on, the ongoing cinema because of which this body came and this body is now functioning, is called the prarabdha karma, is the arabdha karma, which is already started, dispatched and projected, and that is going on. Now what about agami? When you are now living with this prarabdha, with this body mind complex, you still do some actions, you are bound to do some actions, and that actions are bound to give some results, either maybe merit or demerit, punya or papa. And these actions are called, the result of these present actions may not give the result immediately, because immediately now one cinema is already projected on the screen. Until unless that cinema is get over, we cannot project the another cinema in between. It's just like that. So this present actions results are all now waiting. Where they wait, they will go and accumulate in a bag which is called sanchi or sanchita karma, a reserve bank like, a reservoir like. They will go and accumulate. Why? So they have to accumulate because this person does so many actions, and for every action he claims that I am the karta, I am the bhokta, and every claim has to give some result to you. You claiming that I have done, I am doing. So the kartrutva bhavana, so many actions, plenty, either good or bad, they are like mountains, mountain size. So they all will go and stocked in the sanchi, or which is called sanchita karma. And from that sanchita karma bag, whenever it gets overflowed, then that is released like the dam water released, and that released karma is called prarabdha. So again this prarabdha, this time again he will do karma, then it will become agami, then it will go and join in the sanchi. Now this never ending, the cycle of karma is keep on moving like this. Then one day this fellow gets doubt by God's grace or by Guru's. What is this? Why I am again and again coming into the different body, even though I don't remember that previous in which body I am, but I can guess that how many species, animals, people are taking birth and again dying and all that. And after coming with this body into this body, so many sufferings and anxiousness and tapatrayams and quarreling, fighting, struggling, and finally it becomes MBBS. You know what is MBBS? Everybody is MBBS. Meaningless, burdensome, boredom, struggle. MBBS. This is what life is. But it won't strike, it is meaningless, it is burdensome. Sometimes he will become upset and feel what is life. why I'm like this, why I'm getting this problem. Then he will just hit his head by saying my karma, my destiny, my prarabdha. Then otherwise, little if he is a astika, you go and stand in front of the Lord and cry and beg and bargain. After many births like this, one day he gets the opportunity to attend the satsang and starts listening to his own story, which is his own biography, biodata. And then slowly he will understand, he has to try to liberate by himself. No one can do for you. Shastra helps, Guru helps, but ultimately you have to grasp and you have to understand. That's why Gnanena. Okay, then in this way, all these three karmas will get free. This Jivanamukta will get free from all these three karmas. Yes. How is it possible, sir? Then the teacher said for this question also, answer. Look here, my dear. This prarabdha bhogena nashtam bhavati. By going through, you exhaust this prarabdha, the present released parcel bundle of karmas. No other way. For everybody, whether you are a bhakta, whether you are a gnani, whatever may be, you have to go through it. Experience and exhaust and finish of it. Then what about the sanchita karma? Sanchita karma, so much there, no sir, you are telling, so much accumulated, that so much also. As soon as when this particular aham brahmasmi nishchayatmika gnanena, when as soon as this particular gnana, knowledge has taken place in your mind, that moment immediately gnanena nashyati, the entire the go down of the sanchita karma gets burnt. How can I believe, sir? You have to believe. Shastra tells. You don't know. Shastra tells, no, you believe it. So sanchita karma is destroyed and prarabdha karma is accepted and exhausting by experiencing. Now only this agami is there, sir. Here only the point last week we are discussing and completed. You know, my dear, in this agami karma, again, the gnani wantedly won't do papa karma, but still there may be some sinful actions, some meritorious actions, punya papa. That gnani's punya papa of the present actions, agami, because he is not claiming and he never say that I am the body, I am the karta, I am having karma, because he raised above himself from all these upadhis and conditionings, and he is now abided in his own real essential nature, Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. Then, because he is not claiming, this karma is, the innocent karma is waiting. What to do? This fellow is not claiming me, the phalam. Then, Ishvara take over, as like the government take over the unclaimed accounts and the policies of the LIs and all that. Okay, this Gnani doesn't want any result of, because he is not claiming. It is all a question of claiming. And so what to do? We have to disperse and distribute this Gnani's punya papa karma phalams. Then Shastra says, whoever worship and praise and do service and take care of and help the Gnani, do the seva or namaskara, any kind of service, and to those people, to those Ajnani people, not Gnani, to those Ajnani people, this punya of the punya done by the Gnani, Agami karma punya goes to them. Same way, whoever hurts the and criticize and harm and inject a pain to the Gnani in any way, even by words, if you are talking bad about the Gnani, to that people this Papa karma of the Agami, Papa karma of the Gnani will go. So how you have to be careful, think. You must be very careful. That's why never do any comment or criticism or any type of thing if you don't know about that particular Gnani or whatever. You just do namaskara if you believe it's good, but don't do any kind of comment, criticism and harm or anything. So in this way, Gnani's karma is taken care of. You understand now? Then after telling this, now the end portion we have to conclude. How this Tattva Bodha gets concluded. Here the Acharya brings out the quotation of the Smruti quotation. Why and what he is bringing out here. So we have run through once, recollected all the topics and the simple essence gist of the Tattva Bodha. Now tarati shokam atmavit iti shrutehe. Smruti means Vedam. Vedam means Veda Purva Bhaga also is there, Veda Anta Bhaga is also there. Actually, Veda Purva Bhaga is meant, prepares a person to enter into the Veda Anta Bhaga, Vedanta. That means the Karma Kanda prepares the person for the next step, the Gnana Kanda. And Gnanam is the ultimate. Then cinema is over. Cinema is over. So Shruti says, tarati shokam atmavit iti. Whoever come to know himself as the Atma, or whoever comes to know the Atma. Here there is no Jivatma, Paramatma, that Atma, nothing. Atma. Remove the Jiva, remove the Para. What is that? Atma. That's why there we say Brahman. So, Atmavit. Whoever come to know his essential real nature as Atma, he cross over the miseries, Shokam, Shokam, Samsaram, because Samsara is equal to Dukkham. Samsara is equal to Sukham. Samsara is equal to sorrow, Dukkham. Of course, in between Sukham also we will see little, but mostly Dukkham only. Because the constant fear is there. Constant fear is there. Now here, I would like to remind you the 5 benefits which I explained on the first or second class, that if you recollect, then this word tarati means crossover, shokam, we will understand very. Some of us may say, some people, normal people, commonly, I have no any sorrow, I am so comfortable, I am so rich, I am so strong, I am healthy. My dear, you may think that I have no any disease, I am so strong, I am so rich and I am so prosperous, all that. But you know, you born, means itself is a disease, my dear. The cycle of birth and disease itself is a birth and death itself is a disease. So you may say temporarily now I have no any sorrow, but it is not real. There is nobody who doesn't have the fear of old age, disease and death. Not only fear, no one can escape from these three. Then, now Shastra says, if you know that you are the Atma, you are freed from the Shoka. Shoka means Moha. Moha means Dukkha, Bhayam, all that. Now, let me tell you that 5 points which I have mentioned in the beginning of the class. What is the benefit? Just for our easy understanding only. Now, everything I think you are able to understand. One is 3 will leave you and 2 will come to you. 3, from the 3 you will get the nivritti. You will be freed from. What are the 3? Jigasa nivritti. You remember I told in the beginning? Sorry, Jignasa, not Jigasa next. Jignasa nivritti means the curiosity to about something related to this related world. Curiosity. I want to know this, I want to do this, I want to achieve that. Anything in that particular age about anything. So I am not giving an example. Anything. This curiosity. Or still there is a sense of guilt, why I didn't learn that, I am not able to learn that, I could not study that. Like this kind of deficiency, asantrupti will be all the time will be there generally. But when you get this Atma Gnana, you will be freed from that, the Jignasa. Shastra tells you can have the Jignasa, the desire about the only to know yourself. That's why to know yourself, you can be selfish. Be selfish to know about yourself. Because in this selfishness about the self-knowledge, all the worldly desires, all the jignasa will be removed. What a great benefit. Otherwise, there will be all the time vacuum feeling in the either sense of arrogance or the sense of guilt in the mind. Then what next? Second one goes away from us. Jighasa nivritti. Jighasa means the shock. Okay, Jighasa means the non-acceptable mentality, non-acceptability mentality. Something, anything to anybody at any time can happen. To my things, my relations and possessions, or to my body also. Anything can happen. So that time people will get shocked. Jighasa means shock. The people will become totally upside down. They'll feel something, everything is blank. Shock by losing somebody, by losing something or other, by losing the health. So this kind of shock, you will be relieved, free from these shocks by the shock absorber of this Gnanam. Shock absorber. This Gnanam, because after you get the Gnanam also, the Gnani will live for some other years according to the Prarabdha, maybe 10, 20 or 30 years. Don't think that every Gnani after getting the Gnana immediately will die. No. he lives. At that living time, he is free from the jighasa. Then only samadhanam, the mind is so quiet, peaceful. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose. So this kind of jighasa nivritti. And third nivritti is what? Karpanya nivritti. Emotional dependency also will go away. Physically you may depend, you may have to depend for some help because physically you are not able to. But emotionally, for my happiness, security and peace, I am not depending on anybody, anything. This emotional independence is called Karpanya Nivritti. Karpanya means Dina Bhavam, pitiable condition. Thinking about myself and feeling about myself, pity, Dina. That's why we keep on sing, I am Nana Dina and he is the Dina Bandhu. Who? God. Then I am the Dasa and he is the Ishvara. So I am keep on depending on the Ishvara, not on the Atma. But this Jnanam gives depending on yourself, Atma. You will be freed from that kind of Dina Bandhu, Anathanatha. I am the Anatha. I am orphan in this world. And he is the Natha. So this kind of Deenata, Deena Bhavana, Dainya Bhavam will go away. What a great relief. Now what I will get? Okay sir, all these three things are going away from me. What I will get? You will get Dakshata Praptihi, dexterity. Now, how many years you are going to live with this body after the Jnanam? Whatever you are supposed to do, either this work or that work or, each different Jnanis according to the Prarabdha will do their different works. But whatever the Jnani do, everything will be so meticulous, neat, useful and useful for many people, and he never harm to this nature or the dharma, and such a dakshata, the skill in action, the skillfulness in living will come. And not only that, he is able to support many people in this world who are all having this mental weakness and the Dina Bhava, emotional weakness. By giving this knowledge, he shares this knowledge. In that way also, he helps so many. That's why a great Mahatma or one Gnani, whatever they do in their short lifespan, even after living for 80, 90 years also, nobody generally cannot do. But they are able to do, like Shankaracharya, how many years he lived, Vivekananda, Swami Ramatirtha, so many people. Within short period, they can give a plenty to the whole, this Ishvara's creation. If at all, whatever they do, it is only the Ishvararpitam, na ichchaya krutam, sarvam Ishvararpanam, loka sangrahardham, dharma samrakshanardham, only the actions will have. So dakshata prapti. Finally, Vidyananda prapti. He gets the ananda. That is only in the end it said that Brahmananda he gets, Vidyananda. That's why Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Gnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham tattvamasyadilaksham ekam nityam vimalamchalam sarvadhi sakshibhutam bhavateetam trigunarahitam. Of course, this sloka comes in praising and saluting to the Guru. Sadgurum tam namami Vidyananda Prapti. Very beautiful sloka. Then, so if you remember these 5 things, the benefits of this Gnana, now here the teacher says, Tarati Shokam Atmavit. Okay? And where this particular statement given in the Shruti, in Chandogyopanishad. In Chandogyopanishad, Narada approaches the Sanat Kumara and he asks, please teach me, oh my dear teacher. I have studied 64 types of Shastras and Vidyas. Even though after learning all that, still I am not feeling any contentment and the peace in my mind. And please, I heard that whoever knows that Atma, he will be freed from the Shoka and the deficiency, vacuum from his mind. So Narada asks Sanat Kumara there, the Satvidya and the Bhuma Vidya, in that this particular topic comes. So Shrutehe. Now the next quotation is also from the Shruti. What? Now after this gaining the Gnanam, this body is now become a Jivan Mukta. Now what about Jivan Mukta? Then he will get again another body and another life? No. Videha Mukti also happens. That's why here to say that indirectly, and after that now with this body dies anytime, in any way, how does it matter? Nothing happens, nothing to worry about what kind of karma should be done, what kind of samadhi has to be built, what kind of prashchittam, pariharam, nothing else. Listen. Tanum tejantu vakashyam, tanum tejatu vakashyam, swapasya gruhotha gruhethavam, gnana samprapti samaye, mukta so vigatashayah. This iti smrutescha, this is also a smruti quotation. After gaining this knowledge, if this gnani, whether he dies and leaves the body in the Kashi or in a dog eater's house, so what? Gnanam samprati samaye muktaha aso, he already liberated. And after that, nothing is a good or bad for him. So there is no question of where this body, this jiva will go or what kind of janma he will get. Oh, what a bad thing, he died there. So generally in the world we are very much, interested or give importance to it. In the Vyavahara it is okay, people will talk. What? Dying in the Kashi is, no, you will get moksha. Never. Not like that. If whoever dies in the Kashi gets moksha, I will do all kinds of rubbish and nonsense and criminals and everything. And at the final death time, or if doctor says you are going to die within 1 week, I will ask somebody, if I have money, I will give money, and please take me to the Kashi and burn there after I die. That person will get the moksha. Then why in Purana it is all said like that? On a good day, on a Uttarayana Punya Kalam, like this, or Ekadashi. It is all good to say Purana Kathas and for the Laukikas, for a unmatured people, immature people. Because at least by saying those things in the Puranas and all that, you will have some respect and reverence to the Dharma, and you will walk in the path of the Astikatvam. Otherwise, you will become Nastika. You will become like an animal, or you will become like a devil. So, Shastra, Rishis, everybody can't understand this Atma Gnanam at once, straight away. But so for them also something should be given, and we have to keep them also on the path of a track of the Sanatana Dharma. Track and path of the Sanatana Dharma. So for that sake only these Puranas and all Kathas, everything. In fact, the truth is that you should get this Gnanam Iha eva. Iha eva is very important. This is told in the previous prose. Iha eva. Not postponing and posthumus. Sir, if I am feeling stomachache and headache now, if the doctor says, okay, in next life you will get cured, you will be cured. Or somebody says, I am feeling hungry now. Okay, next tomorrow your hunger will go, or next year your hunger will go. What is this, sir? Looks so funny. Anybody wants such a thing? I want solution for my problems, everything now and here. I want now. That's why Shastra is also, yes, my dear, you learn this, you get this Gnanam, and you will be liberated now and here. That is more important. Iha eva. So, now you have to get out of this fear also. People, let them do anything. After you die, you don't know anything, whether they burn or whether they bury or take some. But let us not have any kind of worry about it. Who is going to put the Shraddha? Who is going to put this? These are all only for a Grihastha, karma-oriented people. But we are now studying this Tattva Bodha is not to make you to hold and stick and be in the only karma, karma, karma. Shastra want you to get out of the karma, so come to Gnanam. So for such a Gnani, about that Gnani we are talking. So Gnana Samprapti Samaye Muktaha Aso, and he is freed from all the desires. A real Gnani never say, you construct a Samadhi like this and you keep my body there, you take my ashes there. They never instruct or tell anything, because they are Gnanis. That much. That is. So in this way, iti smrutehe cha. Like this, very beautifully, this Tattva Bodha small textbook explained in a very simple and beautiful manner. By God's grace and by Guru's grace, we all are able to study and listen. Now this knowledge will our knowledge will come to all of us, and we will be benefited by it. In this way, iti tattvabodha-prakaranam samaptam. In this way, we are concluding today this Tattva Bodha text. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.